So the self-teaching part allowed me to basically start working on projects. You know, I had, at this job, my job was to work on projects that were measuring rice production. And from then I started making maps, and I had kind of like a personal proof of concept when I started making those maps and doing that geographic analysis, you know, like trying to do a spatial analysis of rice production. That gave me a proof of concept that I could then, you know, send to other employers, other clients when I was looking for work. And I felt that, surprisingly, like being able to show people this is the thing I can do really helped and erased the fact that I didn't have a GIS certificate or a master's in geography. And I found this was the case particularly, I was surprised with French NGOs. The French organizational culture is super hierarchical. Hiring is often based on what school you went to, and what your degree is in, and they kind of lock you in. But I found that by being able to go to people and saying, hey, yes, I don't have this degree, but here's the list of things that I have done, and most importantly, showing that I was willing to learn new things, that I was excited about learning new things, I think that was sort of the clicker, and that I could show I'm interested in this and I want to learn more, and I will adapt. When given the opportunity, I will adapt, and I'm going to enjoy learning this. And I think that was how I was able to navigate not being a traditional geographer and doing GIS kind of work. I think everyone has their own procedure, and you know, like I would not say that, for instance, my procedures are the most relevant, but I think that, I mean, for me, when I was looking at a candidate and I was talking to people, I just wanted to make sure their procedure worked. But for me, or it worked for them to say. But for me, I mean, I look at, for instance, if I am to develop a new data set, for instance, let's just say we need to find out whether or not villages are on the electrical grid. You know, so I would the first most important thing is to figure out if anyone else has already done this. You know, if they have and the data set can't be found, email people. I find that professors are oftentimes willing to share their papers if you don't want to pay the, you know, I don't want to advocate theft, but, you know, if you don't want to pay $50 for the subscription for the article, you can always email a professor sometimes, and that happens as well. So I would get information from people who had already done it. I would look at existing public data sets, and if they're worth something already there, then I would work to fill the gaps. And what's great now is so much is open source. There's so much open source data. If you're working in Earth observation, you can get images of the entire planet for free, which 10 years ago was inconceivable. And now you can get it for free, and you don't have to do processing, you don't have to be a remote sensing expert. You can download image sets or geospatial or Earth observation products without having to go and do this huge correctional procedure of, you know, cleaning remote sensing data. And I think that the fact that there is that open data makes it so much easier to go this procedure. So, you know, once you get your open source data, then you figure out what you can get from that. And then from there you build what you need to get from the field.